Hi and welcome to today's workout. Today's workout we're going to be doing triceps and core. So for today's session you're going to need a mat, we're going to need plenty of space, and we're going to need a set of hand weights. So hand weights anywhere between 3 kilograms and sort of 5 to 6 kilos in each hand would be amazing. So first of all we're just going to start off with our core position. So we're going to start off in that all fours position. So we want to make sure that we have our knee and our hips in line. We want to have our wrists, elbows and shoulders, and keeping that back nice and straight. We keep that length through that body, and we'll take a nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to reach the arm and the leg away from the body, and then we're going to draw all the way back in. So we want to make sure first of all we have plenty of space. You want to make sure you're not going to bash your toes or your feet against anything, or your arms. So you want to keep that length through that body, and throughout today's session we're going to make sure you stay nice and hydrated, so grab water as and when you need. If you need to open any doors or windows for ventilation, do so. We want to keep that length all the way through that body. We want to work through a pain-free range of motion at all times. And we keep that gap between the chin and the chest. And we keep that length through that body. And we keep that space between the ears and the shoulders. We're going to keep that pelvis super level. And we want to go for length, not height. And we're going to do one more on each side for me, team. Brilliant. So we're going to grab hold of the weight for me, please. So we're going to keep that connection between the two knees and the hand. We're going to bring the elbow up. We're going to lengthen the arm away from the body and keeping that space between the chin and the chest. So we're only going to extend the arm back, okay, as far as we can maintain that nice neutral position in the spine. And we're going to keep that position within the elbow. So we don't want to try and flip the wrist up. We want to keep that length through that body. And we keep that space between the ears and the shoulders. We'll do one more repetition on this side, and then we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to put the weight down, place the hand down, take that pressure out of the wrist, we'll keep that length through that body. So we keep the abdominals nice and connected, keeping that gap between the chin and the chest. And we want to keep that connection between your hand and your knees to the floor as equally as you can. Keeping that length through that body. Keeping those abdominals nice and connected, keeping that spine as tall as we can. So we're going to keep that length in that body, keeping that gap between the ears and the shoulder. And we've got just 3 more on this side. 2 and 1. Lovely. Pop the weight down for a moment. I'm just going to sink back for a quick second, just do that stretch into the back, pressing the hands down into the upper back and the shoulders. Get that quick stretch. So we're going to come back to the all fours position. We're going to tuck our toes under. So just be mindful of any wings that are not digging into your hands or your fingers. We're going to take a nice deep breath out. We're just going to hover those knees just above the ground. So we're really thinking about sort of 3 to 4 inches maximum, and then we're going to slowly lower it down. So we're going to do what's called a leg pull prep. So we're going to stabilise those shoulders, contract those abdominals, keeping that back nice and straight, and keeping that length through that body. I'm going to really focus on keeping the position nice and neutral. So we're just standing into those hands, contracting those abdominals, so we're keeping that width across that body. One more time. So we're going to do a quick stretch, so flatten the feet out, sink it back, just to take some pressure out of those wrists. Give those fingers a good wiggle. And then we're going to come back to the all-to-fours position. We're going to grab that weight. So we're going back to our triceps. So keep that length through that body. We're going to squeeze the elbow back, keeping those abdominals nice and connected. Keeping that length through that body. Keeping that space between the rib and the hip. So we really want to keep that body as long as we can. Again, if the weights you've selected are too much, just change them for a lighter pair. And last repetition. We're going to pop that weight down. Again, make sure it's nice and safe. Do exactly the same on the other side. So again, wrist, elbow in line with the shoulder, keeping that body nice and long and connected, keeping that gap between the chin and the chest. Really think about engaging through that, the abdominals, keeping that length all the way through. Nice neutral position. And last repetition. Brilliant. Pop that weight down again, make sure it's nice and safe. And we're going to that second set of leg pull prep. So, fingers towards the end of the mat. We're going to draw up, keeping that back nice and straight, standing into those hands. Contracting those abdominals. Keeping that width across that body. Again, we're pressing into those balls of those feet so we don't slip. And don't worry if your arms start to shake, that's okay. Contracting those abdominals, keeping that width across that body. Last one. Beautiful. Sink it down. Get that nice big stretch for me. Now we're going to come onto our backs. We're going to need those weights. So we want to have them at hand. So we're going to start off in a nice neutral position. So we're going to have that pubic bone to landmarks nice and level. Now we're going to start with one weight. You're going to make sure that if you've got any hair bands in, or if you need to pop a cushion underneath your head, do so. Keep that pelvis nice and level. So we're going to bring that weight up so it's in line with the shoulder. And then we're going to take that weight down so it comes down past your ear. So you want to make sure that we don't bash ourselves with the head of the dumbbell. So coming here into the side of the face. So you may want to take the head just slightly to the opposite side. Keeping those abdominals nice and connected. Again, you can use the arm to support yourself. And one more repetition. Brilliant. So we're going to swap the weights over. So again, elbow in line with the shoulder. We're going to take it all the way down and all the way up. So again, you can only work through the range of motion of keeping that elbow nice and straight and bend. So we keep that width across that body, keep those tummy muscles nice and engaged. Again, just making sure you don't catch the head of the dumbbell to the side of your face or to your ear. That's it, lovely. And we keep that width across that body. And we have 3 more repetitions. So this is number 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Pop that weight down. Again, have a little rest, which is going to be a recovery exercise. So I have those feet nice and parallel, legs are up in line. So we've got this nice 90-degree position here. We're going to bring our thumbs to the forehead. We're going to flex to that breastbone, we're going to curl it up. And then we're going to lower it back down again. So we're going to curl it up and down. Now, as we start to get more familiar with this pattern, we're going to draw the knees in and back in line with the hips. So we're going to curl up both ends and down. We're going to curl up and down. Keeping that space between the chin and the chest. And one more repetition. Brilliant. So we're going to pop those feet back down. We're going to grab a weight. We're going to reach the arm all the way up. And then we're going to go into that tricep all the way, drawing all the way up for me. Keeping that gap between the chin and the chest. Again, making sure that you're not going to bash yourself with the weight. And keeping that space between those ears and the shoulders. So we really want to keep a focus on that good posture. And we have one more repetition. Brilliant. So we'll do exactly the same on the other side, so just put that weight down. Keeping that space between the chin and the chest. We're going to draw it all the way down and up. So we keep that length through that body. And that neck as long as we can, again, maintaining that nice neutral posture. Again, making sure we don't smack ourselves on the head. And the last repetition. Brilliant. Now we'll pop that weight down. So we're going to bring our legs to 90 degrees, again, keeping that pelvis nice and level. Thumbs are going to come to our forehead. We're going to curl in both top end and the bottom end of the abdominals. And we're going to draw it back in, legs go to 90. And we're going to curl, keeping everything nice and flat, nice and engaged. And we've got 3 more repetitions. And 1 more. Right, so we'll put those feet down. We're going to roll ourselves up. Right, so we come to a kneeling position. So So again, just come to where it is comfortable. So you can do this in a low kneeling position like so, or you can do it in a high kneeling position. So again, just go to where is comfortable. So we want to make sure that we maintain that nice neutral position. So we're going to take that weight above the head and we're going to start by having it down behind the back of the neck. So we want to support the arm, we're going to reach the arm all the way up and then all the way down. So keep that length through that body, keeping that gap between the chin and the chest. Again, keeping those shoulders nice and wide. So again, we want to keep that breastbone, tummy button and the pubic bone nice and in line. And last repetition. Now I bring that weight down and all the way back up. So again, if you can't sit on your knees like so, then obviously if I do it, you can do that high knee position. Again, if that's not comfortable either, you can do it in a standing position. That is totally fine. You work through the range of motion that's right for you. We're only going to extend the arm all the way up and all the way down. Brilliant. And we'll just do another 4, 3, 2, and one more repetition. Brilliant. We're going to put that weight down. We're going to come into that nice full plank position, so full arms. So we want to make sure that you're not going to slide. So you either have your feet on your mat or off the mat, choice is yours. So we're going to drop that weight forward and keep that back nice and straight. Keep those abs nice and tight. So just make sure that everything's nice and in line. And then we're going to pull that knee in and we're going to step it back. Pull the knee in and step back. So we're going to keep that width across that body for me. Keep that head and that neck nice and long. Keeping that gap between the ears and the shoulder. And keep those bottoms squeezing, quads are engaged, that's the fronts of those thighs. Keeping those tummy muscles nice and engaged for me. Remember to breathe. And last repetition. And we'll put those knees down. Sink it back, nice big stretch. Lovely. And then we're going to come back to our knees. Grab that weight. Keeping those shoulders nice and open. So again, tummy button, breastbone, pubic bone nice and in line. Arm goes up to the ceiling. We're going to take it all the way down. And then all the way up. And then down and up. That's it. Lovely. Last repetition. Brilliant. Now we'll bring that down. Swap sides. All the way up. And take it down again. Make sure we don't bash the back of our head. And we have another 4 to go. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. So we'll go back to that plank position. So again, you're either going to do this on the mat or off the mat. So we're going to drop that weight forward. Again, squeezing the buttocks, tighten through the fronts of those thighs, pull that knee in towards your elbow. So we want to make sure that we're not doing any wigwam impression, so you don't want to like hoik up or drop too far down. You want to keep it in that nice neutral position, engaging through, keeping those abdominals nice and tight, keep it nice and strong. one more on each side. Lovely, pop those knees down. Sink it back, get that nice big stretch. Lovely, we're going to roll it up. And then we're going to stretch out, team. So we're going to stretch out those triceps. So first of all, we're going to bring that arm up, touch the back of the collar, and then we're going to draw it all the way down behind the back of the neck. Again, just pushing just very gently underneath the elbow. And then the other side. Beautiful. And now just take the arm across the body, that nice big stretch to those shoulders as well, just for all that stability we've done into the shoulder. And then the other side. Brilliant. And I'm just going to stretch those biceps as well, so swinging those fingertips towards the camera. And then you're just going to gently pull away, just get the biceps and the forearms. Just gently keep those elbows nice and softened. Beautiful. And then the other side. Fantastic. And that's the end of your triceps and core session for today. I hope you enjoyed us doing today's session. And obviously you can just tie in with a cardio session beforehand, or if you just want to do it as purely a quick training session with just your abs and triceps, that's what today's session is all about. Take care and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.